Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Oh, is that it? Is that
Yeah.
Andy, anytime we're ready? Okay, great. Good morning, all. We are very excited to be here today. We've gone through a very thorough process. We were very pleased with the long list of candidates that we had in consideration for the head coaching position in Toledo with the Walleye. Ryan Martin, the assistant general manager for the Red Wings, sends his regrets today. We will give you his phone number. He's more than pleased to talk to any one of you about the process we went through and how we eventually selected Derek to become the head coach of the Walleye. Just as a brief overview, myself, Nick Fitucci, and Ryan Martin, the assistant GM for the Red Wing, were part of the entire process. Probably spent close to 3 to 4 hours with every candidate once we compiled all the time that we spent with each, and we're really pleased with really the long list of significant candidates that came actually from all over the world. So we had some international candidates, some NHL, AHL, ECHL, and USHL candidates, and we're very pleased to introduce Derek. And I always, Lalonde.
Lalonde, correct.
Got it. So I always want to put the little French twist to it in. So Derek, I think you're going to be very pleased, very impressed with his approach to the game, his expectations. Derek is going to be on the fast track. So our expectations as it relates to the AHL and the NHL is that we can approach things from a couple of different perspectives. One perspective is that Toledo becomes a hotbed for future NHL coaching prospects, and we'll work in sync with the Red Wings in that regard. And I think what you're going to find over the next couple of years is that Derek meets that profile and fits that profile, and what we're hoping is that he will exceed all of our expectations. I'm going to stop on that note, introduce Derek, and we're so pleased that you're here.
Appreciate it.
And then introduce your family as well. I know they're here, so.
I'll save them to the end. Save them a little bit. So, AJ. First, welcome. Thanks for coming by. I want to acknowledge the Green Bay Gamblers, Brendan Bruss, Kenny Wachter, Jeff Mitchell, first and foremost for 3 unbelievable years, and for the permission to seek out this opportunity. I want to thank the Toledo Walleye, Joe Napoli, Nick Fitucci for trusting this great organization in the history of Toledo hockey in me. And I want to thank the Detroit Red Wings, especially Ryan Martin, who's very involved in this process. How much they cared about this position and what they wanted in this position meant a lot to me, and that excites me a lot. My whole career, I've been very fortunate in my coaching career to surround myself with good people, good organizations, and cultures that have won a lot of games. And that started at Fair State, working with Bob Daniels and Drew Famulak. Then moving on to University of Denver, George Gwozdecki, Steve Miller, 2 legendary college coaches. Then my first head coaching position with the Green Bay Gamblers, following the footsteps of John Cooper and Eric Rude. Those are big shoes to fill, but that organization had success, and I had success in that organization because of the business structure. And then this is no different. I had the opportunity to choose and be lucky enough to get this opportunity with Toledo. The thing that resonated most with me was the business side of things, the organization, their vision of what they wanted to be. And I'm very excited, again, to be with great people in Joe, and really looking forward to working with Nick Fitucci. Nick, I'm sure he'll be humble in this. He's nothing short of a legend with Toledo hockey, both as a player and then on the coaching side. I'm excited to work directly with him as he takes his new role as the managerial side of things. And that relationship was very important to me. It's something I spent a lot of time thinking about, and it went from getting to know Nick to excited to go down this venture with him. I'm also excited to work with the Detroit Red Wings. Again, you associate yourself with great organizations. Lastly, I have to acknowledge my family. They came in last night. This is Alex. AJ, say hello. Hello. This is Luke. Come on up, Luke. Luke was not adopted. I just want to let everyone know that. It's my wife Melissa and my daughter Abby. She's got sporting the Toledo Walleye. So any good coach, good families behind them. My wife was actually a better coach than me back in the day. She coached soccer at the highest level, Division I level, and so forth. So I made a good move with the right family, and had a great experience last night of the Mud Hens game. I tried to convince the kids the fireworks were for them. I don't think they were buying it. So I'm very excited, as you can probably tell. A little bit on the hockey side of things. We expect great things. We want to build a culture of success here. I know roster turnover in the East Coast Hockey League is very difficult. It's something it'll be Nick and my goal to manage. But at the same time, whether a player's on the way up here or a player's on the way down here, and for whatever reason, when they're in our locker room, when they step into that Toledo locker room, their expectations is to win for the Toledo Walleye. That's certainly going to be our challenge. So with that, I want to open up for any questions.
Do you have a preference to do it as a group and one-on-one, or how would you like to start?
I'll ask.
Yep.
What type of team do you think you're going to bring here? I mean, what do you have philosophies? Do you like, what kind of style do you like?
Well, traditionally from my college days and then what I brought as a head coach in the United States Hockey League, I'm a big transition guy. Everything's going to come out of transition. We talk about transition all the time. That's where a lot of offense is created. We're going to defend well. We're going to be hard through the middle of the ice. But it's going to be about transition. And I've had a style of play in which players wanted to play in, excited to play in. It'll be no different. When people talk about the Toledo Walleye and free agents and opportunity to play here, they're going to be excited about style of play. It is going to be up-tempo. We may have to win hockey games 1-0, 2-1 on given nights, but we give our guys some room to be creative, to make plays, but also being responsible, staying above the puck. So I think it's going to be a style of play that will relate to this league and Toledo.
When you're managing a minor league baseball team, you've got certain parameters about using players, but baseball's baseball. Hockey's different, there's different styles. In this position in the ECHL, it's difficult for you as a coach having your philosophy, but yet having to respect what the Red Wings want with their cluster of prospects to make sure they're happy, but still get everybody meshed into where you want to play.
Yeah, I still think that comes down to development. And I've lived my entire life from college onto the junior level, and it's all been about development. And every time I've coached, it's been development for goals of those kids in different organizations. Our draft picks at the University of Denver, our draft picks at Fair State University. We had that responsibility then to develop. Same thing with Green Bay. We had a responsibility to develop players going on to college, being high NHL draft picks. But at the same time, whatever organization I'm with, it's responsibility to win hockey games. And to have that balance between development and winning is hard to do. But the people that are good in this league, they find that balance, and that's going to be our goal. And again, it goes back to kids still want to be coached. At this highest level, at the professional level, they still want development. Within that development, hopefully is winning. And I really think winning is developing. Every great organization, you want to see winning, you learn how to win. We go out to get those free agents this year. We're going to talk about winning. I talked with Kyle today in the locker room. We're reminiscing in the locker room a little bit. Kyle's been a big part of what Toledo's been here and towards our future. And we had a moment, like we were in the locker room, we're going to get things going here. We're going to establish that culture. And I could tell he was excited about it.
How do you feel like this roster fits the system you want to run?
It's good. That's something Nick and I will work through. June 15th will be the start of our free agent signing. And we're going to evaluate our players that are currently on the roster. There's no doubt there's some guys in there that we're excited about. Going to meet with Jeff Blashill actually tonight. He's going through his meetings with the Red Wings tonight. Get some expectations from him, style of player, type of player. So I think there's plenty of players in that locker room right now fit what we want. And then when we seek out that free agent, there's going to be a certain style. There's someone that competes and plays hard and wants to be here. And I really think there's no better place in East Coast hockey. It attracted me here. Our proximity for other American Hockey League players to move up, our fan base. This has been a long process. And through that process, I was watching games down the stretch, and this is a team that was going through a transition. And to still draw these 7,000, 8,000s was amazing to me. Goosebumps, to think about it, what it can be. So we will attract players here that want to be here.
Derek, what did you say or do to influence Joe and the Walleye organization's decision to hire you?
I think it was just the fit. What they were looking for someone that's had that fine line between development and winning. And I've had that all through my career. And from the get-go, from when Ryan Martin, Detroit Red Wings, reached out to me, from when I first talked with Nick, it was the same message. It felt right. Then my first talk with Joe, the phone interview, the in-face interview, a couple conversations after both of those interviews, they just flowed. I fit what they were looking for. They certainly fit what I was looking for. That's a very good start.
Any other questions? We can break out for the one-on-ones. So, thank you,
Joe,
sir.
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're-